The year was 2016. A storm swept through Africa, but it wasn't a natural disaster. It was digital and silent. It came with the promise of 30% monthly returns.
If you put in 5,000 rand it is, in the first month you get 6,500.
Initially, it was an import business. However, it transformed into a path to financial freedom at a time of hardship. But what it delivered was chaos, which left millions broke, broken, and bitter. This is the story of MMM. Sergei Mavrodi, a Russian mathematician and former deputy of the Federal Assembly of Russia, co-founded MMM in 1989 alongside his brother Vyacheslav Mavrodi and a woman, Olga Melnikova. The name MMM was coined from the first letters of the founder's surname. Initially, Mavrodi operated MMM as a network of electronic importing business. You know, anything the crumbling Soviet middle class desperately wanted as at that time. Sadly, in January 1992, tax police accused MMM of tax evasion, leading to the collapse of the company. Fast forward to February 1994, MMM transformed into a financial scheme, promising returns of up to 3,000% per year. The company started an aggressive TV ad campaign, spending about 500 million rubles as at March 1994, which is equivalent to approximately 16 billion rubles in today's money. Now, to put it into perspective, that is about $178 million today. The ad campaign appealed to the general public because the company made use of public figures and faces that viewers could identify with. Another notable marketing strategy used was a giveaway of free metro trips to all Moscow citizens on a particular day of the week. The success of MMM in attracting investors brought about competition, and this led to the creation of other similar companies such as Tibet, Chara, Copper Invest, Selenga, Telemarket, Germis, and a few others. All of these companies were characterized by aggressive television advertising and extremely high promised rates of return. Fast forward to the 22nd of July 1994, the Ministry of Finance issued a statement listing MMM among the number of investment firms which had illegally issued unregistered stocks, bonds, and other products. Thousands of investors protested in front of the company's headquarters, prompting the intervention of riot police. And by the next day, the firm was no longer operational. This makes it the second time Mavrodi's company will be shut down within the space of just 3 years. Few weeks down the line, Sergei Mavrodi got arrested and imprisoned for heavy tax evasion. After his release in 1995, he got involved in politics and other shady deals which made him regular at courts, prisons, and steadily on the run. But several years on the run and about 5 years in prison seem not to have tamed Mavrodi, because in 2011, he launched one of the biggest Ponzi schemes, MMM Global.
Sergei Mavrodi is back, unrepentantly, unashamedly promising that a new pyramid investment scheme will yield Russians returns of 20% a year, just like he said it would in the 1990s.
Targeting not just Russia alone this time, but developing countries in Asia, Latin America, Western Europe, and Africa, with promise of about 30% monthly returns. He says,
My goal is a financial apocalypse, a destruction of the global financial system. I consider the current financial system unfair. It's not fair that some people own billions while others have nothing. The system must be destroyed and something else must be built in its place. That's precisely what I'm working on.
Now, according to Mavrodi, He describes MMM as a financial social network in which citizens give each other money. Well, if we are being sincere, MMM actually made some people rich. In the mid-2010s, the Nigerian economy was bleeding, the naira was falling. Then came MMM, offering a lifeline. With 10,000 naira, you could earn 13,000 naira in just 30 days. Now the truth is, Sergei Mavrodi had tried this scheme before in Russia, China, India. Each time it collapsed. Well, Nigeria was no different, but it was just bigger. MMM entered Nigeria in November 2015, branding itself as a mutual aid community rather than an investment platform. The scheme offered participants a 30% monthly return on their contributions. Just few months into 2016, a good number of people had joined, driven by economic hardship, high unemployment rates, and a chance at getting rich. MMM growth in Nigeria was fueled by online marketing, social media campaigns, and word-of-mouth referrals. Funny enough, die-hard supporters and lovers of MMM coined a name for themselves: Mavrodians.
Sorry for the laugh.
These Mavrodians were incentivized to recruit others by convincing them of the benefits of being a Mavrodian, thereby creating a pyramid structure. Just 10 months down the line, over 2 million Nigerians had joined the scheme, majority of whom were youths who saw it as an avenue to build a path to wealth and financial stability. Fast forward to December 2016, the Yuletide season was in full swing. Airports buzzed with excitement as IJGBs, I just got backs, flocked into the country, ready to soak up the festive spirit and reunite with family and friends. The Mavrodians were basking in virtual profits, planning to cash out and enjoy their dirty December. Little did they know that their joy was about to be cut short. Hey guys, so before we get into the next chapter of this video, I quickly want to talk about something that's been of great concern to me as a person. You know, over the last few months, I and my people has discovered that a good number of our viewers are not subscribed to this channel, and you know, it has been a thing of great concern to me because Kilon Shele, what's going on? Why are you watching and not subscribed? Yeah, because I don't think it's too much to ask for. Looking at the kind of content we put out on this channel at Industry Narrative, I don't think it's too much to ask for crying out loud. We're not asking for financial support. Even though if you support us financially, we're really going to appreciate that. However, that's not the aim of this video. I would really appreciate it if you watch, you like, you share, you drop your honest comments, emphasis on honest comments, and then just subscribe. It doesn't bite, man. It doesn't bite. Just subscribe. And to those who are subscribed, to those who drops their comments, who likes our videos, who share our videos, man, I really do appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. It means a lot to me and I don't take it for granted. Yeah, so I guess that's all I have to say, Abi. All right, now, so with all of that being said, my people, let's get back into the video. Thank you. On the 13th of December 2016, without prior warning, MMM Nigeria announced a 1-month pause on all withdrawals, citing a system overload and the need to maintain the community's stability. Participants logged into their dashboards only to be greeted with a shocking message. Panic set in. What was supposed to be a season of merriment turned into one of despair. Now, thousands of Mavrodians, students, salary earners, traders, even civil servants had locked up their savings in the system, believing it would yield returns in time for Christmas. But those returns would never come. Social media exploded with outrage, rumors, and confusion. Some blamed greedy participants. Others held on to the hope that the freeze was temporary. But as the days went by, gradually reality began to set in. MMM had collapsed, and it didn't just collapse alone. it collapsed with the dreams of millions who had bought into the promise of financial freedom.
Shola is one of the many victims of these notorious Ponzi schemes. MMM gave her a devastating blow in her quest to maximize profit.
When it landed, it actually put me into financial loss.
See, the truth is MMM Nigeria was a classic Ponzi scheme, sustained not by any real investment or product, but by a constant inflow of new participants, whose money was used to pay older participants. As long as more people were providing help than getting help, the system could survive. But by late 2016, the cracks had started to show. MMM had grown too fast because by mid-2016, millions of Nigerians had joined. The pool of new participants, which was the lifeblood of the scheme, began to dry up. Also, we can't deny the fact that December is typically a high expense month. Many participants rush to withdraw their returns at once, overwhelming the system. There simply wasn't enough new money coming in to meet the growing withdrawal demands. Because when everyone tries to withdraw at the same time, a Ponzi scheme inevitably crashes. When the new year dawned, some Mavrodians were full of hope because MMM had promised to resume operations by January 2017. And indeed, the site came back online, but their joy was short-lived. Participants quickly realized that their old Mavros had been wiped out or labeled unconfirmed. Only new money will be honored and acknowledged in each account, meaning people had to provide help again for the system to work. At this point, trust in the system had shattered. The relaunch, however, flopped. The community never regained its momentum. Fast forward to March 2017, activities had slowed to a trickle, and for all intents and purpose, MMM Nigeria was dead. Some people reportedly committed suicide, others fell into debt. Yet one would think no Nigerian will fall for any Ponzi scheme after MMM. But ironically, the collapse in 2017 didn't mark the end of Ponzi schemes in Nigeria. It only marked a new beginning for more disguised and well-packaged versions.
So what should the regulators be looking at now? There are regulatory agencies for all of these kind of scheme gamblings and and so on.
The regulatory body should be looking for what will provide certainty of, how should I say, certainty of continuity. Okay. Because if something doesn't have the potentials of continuing, because for example in MMM, you provide help or get help, and if somebody does not provide help, it means that others are suspended. Exactly. Until there's somebody who chooses to provide some form of help. So that's some level of uncertainty.